Though considering the last segment, this is something that I think is still worth noting. That yeah, people got it wrong disastrously, and they should never be forgiven for that. But it won't stop their handlers and it won't stop their leaders from continuing to try to give themselves out. Y'all remember Leanna Wen, the Asian CNN doctor. Well, always, she was the one that was talking about the dangle carrot and all of that. She used all that sort of terminology. And remember when she talked about letting the restrictions go, particularly trying to keep schools open and all of that, which was a complete flip from her initial positions. But if you listen closely, she never said that it was because of getting it wrong or because of science or something like that. That was never what it is that she said. What she attributed the reason to end it is because of the lack of trust from the American public. So she's like, if we keep this sham going on, we tell them that they do this for us and we'll give them a little bit of liberty, right, back. Or we'll stop impeding on it. That's a more accurate way to put it, because liberty exists regardless of whether they want it to or not. They're the aggressors here. But she said that, well, we want to be able to, in the event that this happens again, do the same shit. So that's why we should ease the restrictions. It had nothing to do with science. I have another example. Everybody's favorite fucking doctor basically echoed the same sentiment, less about the ending of or easing the restrictions. But let's listen to what it is that this fucking fraud had to say. Let's check it out.
We need to be flexible. And if, in fact, we do see a turnaround and a resurgence, we have to be able to pivot and go back to any degree of mitigation that is commensurate with what the situation is. So we can't just say we're done. Now we're going to move on. We've got to be able to be flexible because we're dealing with a dynamic situation. Hopefully, the cases will continue to come down as the weather gets warmer. We need to be flexible. And if, in fact, we do see a turnaround and a resurgence, we have to be able to pivot and go back to any degree of mitigation that is.
Just listen to him as he continues. He's essentially saying, yeah, we're easing these restrictions, is going down, cases, blah, blah, blah. But keep in mind, when I need my time, my airtime again, and I want to feel important, we have to be able to go back and do the same shit, which in a lot of, basically, plenty of cases prove to be ineffective. All of these mitigation efforts it is that he's talking about, whether it be lockdowns or mask mandates and all of that, didn't seem to have much of a bearing on the outcome. Yet he still wants to be able to, and he keeps that maybe possibly, because who knows, the next one comes around, if it's not just a new variant, the next one comes around, a new shit that they're gonna try to fearmonger on. I think it's gonna be related to the climate. And they're going to say, hey, you have to listen to us. The science says it, and y'all need to stop moving, stop living your lives, do whatever it is that we want you to do is what it is that you need to do. So think about that as we get on the other side. You can champion a victory. I get it. Definitely for you guys that have been in these areas that have been locked down forever. I'm in Texas. We haven't experienced that for that long of an extended period of time. We've been basically going back to normal, but some of you guys are living in these areas where they're still doing fucking masks, which is amazing to me to even just look at that, because I'm like, we haven't been dealing with that forever, but y'all still doing this mask bullshit. So when we say, by we, I'm meaning just whether it be general commentators or the scientists that they laughed out of the room. You look at like the Barrington Declaration, and you had all those scientists, doctors with the same degrees and the same work being done in the same profession. Yet for whatever reason, because they didn't support lockdowns and stuff, they were the ones that were the shams. They were the ones that were preaching some sort of quack science or something. when they say it's about power, what else can you say? If they're willing to go back on an ineffective policy, which again, the data doesn't show there was any significant change in their mitigation processes. So why would you try to repeat the same? What is the definition of insanity? It ain't about science, it's about control. These pieces of fucking absolute shit want to continue to keep you just in the know. You got to be reminded that at any given point, they could take the shit right away from you. And this fucking weasel by the name of Dr. Tony Fauci will be one of the ones that will be going network to network and saying, well, wait a minute. We need that back here. We need that back. Y'all need to do what we were telling y'all to do that didn't work the fucking first time, piece of shit. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.